Welcome to episode 406 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton, and as always, I'm joined by Dan Reamer.
Good morning.
They just missed a riveting tool talk that we just did for the last 25 minutes.
Just ask producer Gerald.
Good morning, Gerald. We accidentally talked about tools for a while before recording. I looked down, and I thought Gerald was asleep.
He definitely wasn't as into it as we were.
He was looking down at his phone, I think, but it made it look like he had fallen asleep.
Fallen asleep, yeah.
Yeah. As I get older, tools have become like toys for me.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I get that. Me too.
But I never thought that I would be. I'm not that kind of guy, but maybe I am.
You are now.
Yeah.
Well, I think what happens is as you, I want to say, get older, mature, start getting to a point where you have your own things to take care of, as in your own house or your own plumbing, your own electricity, your own yard. You kind of have to get more into that stuff, or you pay out your ass to have someone else do it.
Yeah. Well, this thing happened a few years back where, because I was always like, man, it's crazy to me that like the adults around me know how to do all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, I don't know, a few years ago, it occurred to me, they don't. They just do it.
Right.
And when I figured out that they don't actually know what they're doing, they're just doing it, and it works out okay. And the whole thing that's kept me from doing stuff that's like my entire life is just the idea that I didn't know how.
Well,
I've done all kinds of shit that I never thought I could do now.
Yeah, I'm kind of just the opposite. I usually don't have a concern that I can do it. The problem is I want it to look a certain way, and if it doesn't, I get upset because I want to be perfect at it immediately. I don't want to fuck practice. That's for like young baseball players, not for 45-year-old people trying to build a fucking countertop in their kitchen. So when it doesn't look right, then I just get mad.
Yeah, I think that I probably put a little too much pressure on myself for things to look perfect too, because for those that don't know, I'm like working on a chicken coop in my house, and I sent you guys pictures this morning, and it looks really good. It doesn't look that good in person. It photographs really well. I mean, it looks good, but it really photographs well. And I realize every time someone's showing me a project they did, it's always a picture, and they're like, "Look at this." I'm like, "Oh, that's incredible." But
now
you
don't see the ins and outs. You don't see the mistakes.
It's probably just photographed well.
Yeah, I get that.
10 feet back, a photo will keep a lot of details that maybe you don't want seen out.
Yes, I agree.
And there's also, if you're not standing there looking at it, there's so much to look at in a photo that you don't even notice the things that probably bother me.
Right.
About it as well. There's something about when you're doing it that the smallest imperfection really pisses you off.
Yeah, well, there's also a certain understanding about different aspects of those kinds of things. For example, let's say in my house, if I have to, like when I had to do flooring and put up trim in the house and paint, I could do that. I did that. I had to YouTube some stuff. I made a few mistakes that I had to, redo. But I did it. It came out. It's serviceable. I can see a few problems. But I'm happy with it. My wife was super happy with it. So, hey, why not? But then there's certain things where, say, like we had an issue where we had a broken sewage pipe in my basement.
That's a professional thing.
I don't know shit about. The thing is all right, like if you mess up cutting a board, you just gotta throw that board away and cut a new board.
You gotta cut another one. See if you can't use that somewhere else.
If you screw up with plumbing, you could possibly flood your entire fucking house.
And you lost me at sewage also.
Right, or electricity. Not only will it possibly kill you or someone else, but one misstep and you could then make the problem 12 times worse with all the rest of the electrical parts in your house.
Electrical is one of those things where I'm actually looking for an electrician right now, and somebody was like, "Hey, I got a buddy that does it on the side. He's really cheap." I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'll just spend the money probably. I don't even want a deal. I don't want a Groupon on an electrician. I think I want like a guy that's a little high, but I know he's not going to burn my house down on the back end.
And I know he knows what he's doing, and he'll do it. The key is to find the people that do it right, because the thing is I found this out when I bought this house, and I haven't fixed the problem yet, but ran a whole bunch of, they did an addition. So when they did, they added some stuff. So they've added a whole bunch of new wiring into stuff. And they put so they had to get a bigger breaker box. So they put everything from there from the old breaker box into the new breaker box and labeled nothing.
Oh, great. That's fucked up.
So I don't know which breaker goes to what. I have to wait for it to turn off.
You have to is it off now?
I have to, yeah, exactly.
Is it off now, or you just cut the whole house?
I basically have to use walkie-talkie function on my phone with my wife. Okay, what turned off?
Yeah. I mean, that's shitty, but that's not a terrible fix. You could fix that in 20 minutes.
Yeah, that could be a fix, but there's other issues where not in my house, but you just got to be careful because you can fuck shit up a lot worse than it started.
So my house is not that old, and I will say I bought my house from my parents. So I guess maybe, I didn't go through the inspection I probably would have gone through had I bought it from someone else.
Right.
But when I brought someone in to do I put in the recessed lighting, and when I brought somebody in to do that, he goes, "Hey, so here's the thing about your power. It's typically there's like a trunk and the rooms run off of it." I'm probably explaining all that wrong, but that's the basics of how it works. The whole trunk for my whole house runs through every room in my house versus just the room it needed.
Okay.
He was like, "You could do it that way, but I never would for my house." He's like, "You're just asking for issues." And it's maybe not the safest way to do it either.
Right.
So I had to rewire my entire house. I didn't have to, but I chose to.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a thing, I would have never known that was an issue. And whoever did it was probably he said it's easier to do it that way because they can just take the wires and make them as long as they want and run them through everything.
Yeah.
But there's no need for it to be that way. So every time I hire somebody and they come out and they're like, "I could do it like this, but you really should do it like this." I'm like, "Hey, do everything the way it should be and the way that you would do it in your house."
Yeah, that's...
the price will figure out on the back end, but I don't want it to be shitty.
Yeah.
Because I just want to do it once.
Mm-hmm. I get you.
But yeah, the whole moral of this story was that you could probably do whatever it is that you think you can't do. It's the mental game. That was all it was for me. I just thought I couldn't.
Right, and that's another thing when I'm doing stuff and something I don't know about, and it inevitably doesn't matter what you're doing, you run into a problem.
Oh yeah,
because it's not like the YouTube videos.
It's all problem solving for the most part.
Yeah, because you're like, "Oh, okay, well this happened, now what?" So, and then my wife is famous because this is what her father did, and she's like, "Well, can't you just rig it up?" And I tell her, "Look. How often do you complain about the stuff in this house that was just rigged up?"
Right, that's why we're doing it all.
And now and this is what happens when you do that. So why do you want me to just rig it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. Maybe we should just do it right. Maybe, but now we have another problem because I can't do it right.
Yeah, the great thing about a lot of that stuff is you can mess up. Like if when I put vinyl flooring in the front part of it where the part that the chickens aren't in. Mm-hmm. Like if I cut something wrong, I'll just use that on the other side.
Right.
Or you cut a board too short, you're like, I'll need a short one at some point also.
Yep.
Like the great thing about it is you're never really out. You can always use it for something else. I mean, as a guy who doesn't know how to build anything and hasn't built anything, my scrap pile is all stuff that's like 2 inches or less. Like I've yet to screw up a big board yet because I just use it somewhere else.
Right.
So it's been good. I think, I've done a lot of stuff. I did a lot of stuff in my house, but I always wanted my stepdad with me as like a safety blanket, I think.
Yeah.
I've never done it without help. And now like the idea of not having help, I'm like, I have the opposite problem now. I'm like, I could build a house. Like I think I could do anything now.
And you can't.
No, 100% no. Hard no. But I think I could. Because the project so far has gone good, but I've been really slow. I mean, to the point where if I'm doing a new thing and I don't know how to do it, I'll stop right then and watch a couple videos, and then I'll practice on one of those little 2-inch scraps, and then I'll go back to doing it.
Right.
I don't rush anything because the chickens have a coop. It's not as if, they don't have anywhere to be right now. It's just going to be a better coop. More room. Not that the chickens give a shit, but I do as a pet owner.
Oh yeah, I get it. Well, that's like yesterday. Hey, so on Friday I get a text from my wife, and she says, "Hey, a family friend of ours, their son for his birthday got a radio. Can you help him install it in his car?" And I'm like, "Yes." So he shows up when we decided on yesterday. I had other stuff I had to do on my truck. On my truck yesterday, I had to run a whole new wiring harness. That's nothing new. That's actually something I know how to do, but it's still problem solving because you still run into something because they always show it on a brand new, stripped down, still in the factory vehicle, and yours is all rusted and it's raining and
yeah.
So completely. So I got my truck done yesterday morning, and she's like, so they show up, and I'm like, "Shoo, cool, show me the radio." So he opens up his trunk, and it's a subwoofer and an amp.
No, that's not a radio.
And I'm like, I can't do that. I said, I could figure out how to do that. I don't think you want me experimenting on your car with this stuff.
That's unfortunate. But see, that was a failure in communication.
It was a communication failure. But I could swap out a radio, no problem.
Right.
That's simple.
I thought you were going to say that he had the radio but no wiring harness.
No. He had all the wiring for a sub and an amp.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, well, I can't do this.
You could have FaceTimed Gerald. He could have got you. Producer Gerald could have hooked you up there. You could have just opened up Dan's speaker shop and rolled him right in the old garage and started working on it.
God. I suppose I could. And here's the thing. I could have figured it out. Because for 10 minutes, I watched some YouTube videos, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what to do here. But I'm not doing it on this 16-year-old kid's car.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to ask Gerald a question. I know people hate when I do this, but it's our show. Is the hardest part of the most time-consuming, difficult part, is it hiding the wires, running the wires?
That would
What's
be
the most difficult?
Okay. So producer Gerald said that it's the longest part, yeah, but it's not the hardest part. I want to guess on the hardest part.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to say the hardest part is the speaker wiring.
He said close. What is the hardest part?
Or connecting it.
Oh, the speaker to the amp. Oh, I'm already out. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know what ohm means.
Yeah.
All the speaker people yelling at the podcast right now.
Right.
Yeah. So for that long pause, he's explaining that depending on the speaker, depending on the amp, they have to be wired different. And I do know that that's true. I used to have a 10-inch sub in my car, and I knew it was a problem whenever the first guy tried to hook it up because he knew how to hook up his.
Yeah.
Turns out didn't know how to hook up mine, so I had to take it someone who just knew how to hook up speakers.
Right.
And they took right care of it. But yeah, that's I wouldn't have tried to hook it up either. Maybe in my car, but I see what you're saying. Like, that's someone else's car.
That's where I was at. And I'm like, look, dude, because he had to, they live 45 minutes from us.
So he just burned an hour and a half.
So him and his friend came. Well, he picked up a friend about 15 minutes away from me, where they used to live, in the town they used to live in. So it wasn't like a complete waste. But right. I'm like, dude, I realize I'm sorry, and I'll show you the text. This is what I was told. And he goes, yeah, that's my mom's fault.
Yeah, blame her.
Well, don't yell at her either, because she doesn't know. And I said, here's where we're at. I can try doing this. I'd really rather not, because if I mess something up, your car is stuck here, or you have no radio, or you have just loose wires with electricity flowing through them, connecting to bare metal, and you're going to fry. I said, I really don't feel comfortable doing this on your car. He's like, no, okay, I get that. I understand. I said, you're 16. You're impatient. I get it.
Yeah, you want it now, right?
I was there once.
I want to be cool today, not tomorrow.
Right. I said, but I can't do this. I'm not going to do this.
Yeah, it's
And he's like, no, I get it. I get it. I said, I thought I was going to have to pop off a trim panel, pull off some. I thought I might have to, rewire some blue and green wires.
Right.
Max. You're talking running wires the length of your car and yeah,
hooking up to your battery.
Yeah, no.
It's funny you were talking about the things never look like the video. It is like the video always shows you best case scenario.
Yes.
No matter what it is, you watch it and they're like, all you gotta do is take the cover off. You grab the blue wire and the green wire. I'm like, I can do this. And I take my cover off and I have a yellow and an orange wire.
Yes.
I'm like, well, what are those? Are those even the same thing, just different color? Or am I looking at something totally different? I have to find a video now with those wires. I can't find that video at all.
Yeah, and you got to be real careful, too, when you're looking for the videos, because you can't be too specific about what you're looking for.
Right.
Because I was looking for his radio yesterday. I was looking at, how to do this in a 2008 Hyundai Elantra. And it pops
right,
and I'm like, okay, here's a 2015. And I'm like, wow, no.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I do too. I'm like 2010 Blue Scion TC radio install. I get real granular with it. It's got to be my color and everything.
Yeah, and it's bad. It turns out bad. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's
it's a real thing.
That was 20 minutes of me just explaining that you could probably do a thing if you just try. You don't need help. Watch some videos.
We had some fun anecdotes in there, though.
Yeah, read, look at some pictures, and then if it's super expensive or might hurt you or burn your house or car down, just pay somebody if you don't know how. But if it's just a project that doesn't have to be perfect, you could just do it. No one's ever going to see the imperfections except for you.
It's true.
Because no one here's something that you really don't know. No one actually gives a shit. That's the thing you need to know. Like when you build something, if it's not perfect, you're the only person who gives a shit.
Unless it's function the way it's supposed to.
Right, unless it's a table that's a slant and you sit down and you slide off. Like people care then. But like if you've got, if you've got a design on the front of it and one side's like, 2,000ths off, no one cares. No one gives a shit.
No.
No one will ever even notice but you. The things that bother me most that, that I've done, not a single person has even noticed it yet.
Yep. I'm with you on that.
So, yeah, just don't read. If you buy a brand new house today, like if you paid somebody $200,000 to build you a house and you walk in, you're like, it's perfect. It's not.
Nope. There's shit, and you will find it eventually if you stay there long enough.
A lot's probably wrong. Like we could start with the fact that probably no one's room is perfectly square in any place that you're in.
No.
Shit happens.
That's why I hate watching the fucking putting in flooring videos.
Yeah, because they're doing it on a perfect model.
Yeah, a perfect square.
Yeah.
And they'll even show you. They take the little thing. Look at that. That's a perfect square. Shut the fuck up, dude. That's not even real. That's like a unicorn.
Yeah. It's like when
it's a Pegasus.
I was putting tile in my kitchen. And my stepdad's like, you're an 1/8 inch off on this side from that side. I'm like, what do we do now? Burn the house down?
Right.
Like, that wasn't in any of the videos I watched, so we just start over now? Like, I don't now know what we do because it sounds like the whole floor's fucked at this point. From where I'm coming from. And he's like, no, we'll just cheat a little bit here, and by the time we get to the end, it'll be perfect. I'm like, oh, your way's easier. I was going to have to get the insurance money. I was going to do the whole thing.
Can't be fixed. It's fucked.
Yeah.
I broke it.
Right. But, it's crazy. I had, in the back, part of the floor it felt a little squishy back there. And so, when I pulled back the floor, the subfloor had rotted out. The support's under the subfloor, actually. The subfloor was fine. I'm like, oh, so we just fixed that. And he was like, well, yeah, but to fix that, you have to drop the whole bay door out of the back. I'm like, what is... Like, this is crazy. Now the whole back of the house is gone.
Right.
And things like that, I couldn't have done on my own. And even now I wouldn't tackle on my own, without him, because there was a giant gaping hole and I could see all the way down to dirt inside the kitchen as well.
Yeah. Nobody likes that.
Yeah. So it just wasn't a good feeling, but it's, things like that. The problems are going to happen. You just can't shut down when a problem happens. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Sometimes I shut down though.
Yeah. It depends how far in the project. Like, if your house is like half floored, you can't be like, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to put floors in the rest of the way.
Actually, fuck that, I can.
Yeah, you could pay a guy.
It's my house, so I can do what I want.
Pay a lady for the
rest
of the way.
So fuck it. We just have a big hole in the floor. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. If you get on like whatever Zillow or RealTrax or Realtor or whatever you like to use and find cheap houses, you can see people do say fuck it and just live in it.
That's true.
You're like, whoa, that living room, how long is half floored? And there's no trim anywhere. So people do just give up mid-project. Not this guy, though. All right, should we move on?
Probably.
We haven't talked about any games or video games in general. I've been super sleepy this week. I played Rocket League, I think, like once. I think I might have played like part of a Falls Guys level, and that's... I played some Animal Crossing. Here's the thing. I got an Animal Crossing Switch, which I talked about. Mm-hmm. I'm like terrified to transfer my profile to this new system because you have to call Nintendo to transfer your island.
Oh.
It's a whole thing. You can't just transfer your island. You have to transfer everything, and then you have to call Nintendo, and they have to do it. And I'm like, what if I lose my 300-hour island?
Yeah.
And don't be one of those cute people. It's like, well, you could just start a new island. Well, you could just go to hell. I've already got this one.
Yeah, no, that's not even something that would cross my mind.
No, I know not you.
Just build a new one.
I know not you, but the people out there. Don't be like, it's just an island. It's not just an island, okay? The thing is, when you transfer it, you're transferring everything off the system. So your profile and everything is gone from the one that you're on. All the save files are gone. Everything's gone.
Right.
And so that's scary part one. And scary part two is then I need to rely on a rep at Nintendo to transfer it. Now, right. I could still put my profile back on the old one and load it back up, and it would still be there because it's in the cloud, but it's saved to my profile or to my Switch because of the way Nintendo did this. So it's not gone. It's just scary.
Yeah.
So I haven't done it yet.
Best of luck to you.
Yeah.
That's what I got to say.
Doesn't that? I mean, even if you don't love Animal Crossing, don't those colors and everything look nice?
I like the colors. The colors are cool.
Yeah, dude, you should have. Gerald said he almost bought a AC T-shirt.
I did not.
I wish that you had fallen more
AC
in love with
anything.
Animal Crossing.
What's that?
I wish you had fallen more in love with Animal Crossing.
I know you do. I didn't, though. I'm sorry.
It happens.
You know, I will say playing it for 80 hours is... I mean, let's face it, that's probably 78 hours more than anyone anticipated me playing it.
And that's a lot more than you've played any other Switch game. The problem is I know what 80 hours is for that game, and you didn't get to the meat and potatoes yet.
I know.
And that's what's unfortunate. You did play it a lot, though. Gerald is in love with it. He was on the other day when I was on.
Yeah, that's...
How many hours
are you
get back
into my Switch? I say that every fucking week, and I don't do anything.
Yeah, I just assume you're not going to.
Yeah.
Deserted Island Getaways. That's a good shirt. It's got Tom, Timmy, and what's his face? Tommy. Timmy and Tommy.
Timmy and Tommy.
Thomas Nook on the front. I see the ones that say pay up and they have Tom Nook on them, and I think those are pretty funny too.
Those are hilarious because they're true.
Because he's an asshole.
Yeah, fuck Tom.
How many hours are you at, Gerald? Do you know? 190. So that makes my heart happy. Because if you remember, if you rewind back like whatever 20 episodes, Gerald he held off getting the game.
He did, yes.
Yeah, he didn't want to get it. And I was
then he
beating that
did.
drum
Now
hard.
he's all in.
Yeah. Yeah, he ordered it during a podcast.
But to concentrate on your job. They fire people for that, Gerald.
I think I played less than 4 hours all week, probably.
Of video games?
Yeah, I just have been. I've been going to bed early. I just been tired. I'm kind of in a funk at work, and I just needed to just relax.
I get it. I've played the Legends mode of Ghost of Tsushima all week. I played some with some strangers. I played some more with friend of the show, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that shit's really good. We're going to talk about a little bit more here in a little bit, but
you just feed into that whenever you want, because I'm going to let you do that story.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about it in a little bit there. But man, it's fucking good. I'm a little concerned about some future things that are going to happen. But yeah, right now I'm like a level. I think I've got one character. I'm concentrating on one character. I think Matt and I both are, and we're leveling that character up like as high as we can. I also played some of the new Game Plus mode because this is for some reason on this game, I have a desire to like really platinum it, which means I want every trophy for it. Now I platinumed it before the DLC came out, but there's new trophies for the DLC. So now I'm at like a platinum with 83% or whatever.
Right, you want to be 100% platinum.
I want 100 again.
I want to jump in real quick too, and for anyone confused, the Legends mode has a different leveling system than the core game.
Yes.
For anybody who was confused why he's not all the way leveled up because he beat the game, it's separate.
It's a little bit more Destiny-ish, I guess.
Yeah, that's the comparison I keep seeing.
Yeah, it relies on, you have your normal rank, but it also relies on your key levels, which in Destiny would be the power level. And on top of that, there's also, different currencies you can do different things with. You can re-roll, you can make modifications on your gear, that kind of thing. So it's got a lot of the Destiny aspects to it as far as the multiplayer goes. So I think I am ranked. My Ronin is rank 15 with a 64 key. Now the highest you can go is 80, and you can't do certain things until you reach certain key levels. So I'm just working on that. But that's really the only thing I've played this week.
I'm glad that, and also a little surprised. I know that you and friend of the show Matt like it a lot, but everyone really likes this mode on everything I've heard anyone or seen anyone talking about it.
Yeah. And
it's
I'll
surprising.
Go ahead, finish up.
It's just surprising because I knew it was going to have multiplayer, and I thought it would be good. I didn't think it would impress the way that it has.
Mm-hmm.
And that was. It's a different kind of multiplayer, which I find refreshing in a game like this.
Yeah.
That so many people have really taken to. I've really not heard a negative thing yet about it.
Yeah, I know. I don't have a negative thing to say about it. And you guys know that I'm not a huge multiplayer guy.
Mm-hmm.
I do prefer co-op to competitive, and this is more co-op than competitive. But I love it. And the thing about it is I have not been. Like I said, I played with Matt, but Matt and I have played the 4-player mode with 2 other strangers. I've played with either 3 other strangers or 1 other stranger, depending on which mode I'm playing. And we were talking the other night, and neither of us have run into anybody in this game who is an asshole, for lack of a better word. Everybody really does seem to try to play the game the way it's meant to be played. That doesn't mean bad decisions don't get made and, you shouldn't have done that, you should have done this. But nobody gets mad about it. They just carry on. And it's really refreshing to see that. If you're a fan of this game, I cannot stress enough to pick this up. If you have the single player, pick it up. It's great. I wish you guys would get in on it because I would love to have more people to play with. I like playing with Matt, but we could really get in there and do some damage in that 4-player mode with all of us communicating.
Yeah, so my plan is still to see if I can find that thing relatively cheap on Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Matt about this. If I can find it reasonably priced at Black Friday, I still do want to play the game. You don't have to play the single player at any point to jump into the Legends mode, so that's nice.
No, and you do get the tutorials for it. So
yeah, it has its own separate tutorials. So all that's nice, but I'm just waiting to see how cheap I can find that. If someone does, I don't know. The next thing that I will be playing is the Dark Pictures Anthology.
No, Little Hope.
Little Hope.
Is it Little Hope? Is that right?
Yep, that's it. Yeah, Dark Pictures Anthology, Little Hope.
Yeah, picking that up on the 30th.
Yeah, I pre-ordered mine because it came with a pre-order bonus, which is extra story. So you may want to pre-order that.
Where'd you pre-order it from?
Amazon. I think everywhere has the same thing, though.
Okay.
It's if you remember back in like Until Dawn, there was like one scene that you didn't get to play if you didn't pre-order it.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing for this. It's just like an extra scene or something.
Okay.
And you may even be able to play it early because I think they already sent me the code for it.
Oh.
But I didn't mess with it because I just was waiting.
I gotcha.
But yeah, so that's probably the next thing that we'll play. I think we'll stream that out. It'll be all
I think so.
Halloween-y around Halloween. And,
that's probably the way to do it.
And, after that, I don't really have... I mean, you're getting into PS5 time, and I do have the Little Big Planet coming. I think I probably plan to still wait and play that on PS5.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you right now, I am not picking up a PS5 day one.
Well, I assume I'm not either. I don't have a pre-order for one.
Right.
But
I am considering an Xbox, actually.
Yeah, that's what Matt's, I think, is going to go for initially.
I really am. And I mean, I might go with that deal that they're running with GameStop and Best Buy.
Where you pay on it?
Yeah, you pay on it monthly. Yeah. Thinking about doing that, seeing how that works. I guess it's its own separate credit card or something.
If you do it through Microsoft, it's like they have a program with whoever that lets you pay on just that. I think
it's everywhere that you can do that. It's the same.
So GameStop company has their own, and they offer the one through Microsoft.
But I think what that would give me the option to do. I don't know if it's necessary, but I think that would give me the option to go with the Series X instead of the Series S.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. I'm not sure. Because I really don't do much physical anymore. I do some, but I don't know that it would kill me if, like, all of a sudden I didn't do physical anymore.
Yeah, for me, my Xbox is really only used for Game Pass, so I think the S would make sense, but I'm just not. Here's the thing, and I don't want to spend too much time on this because I feel like we've already talked about it. I don't see a need to own either one of these right now.
Yeah, I don't either. But the problem is I want one of them when they come out.
See, I'm like, for the first time ever in my entire life, I don't feel that need.
Really?
Mm-mm. I want them and I'll get them, but I don't feel the need to have them right now because they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything I can't already do. Like I can play everything that's coming out.
Mm-hmm. No, you're absolutely right.
But I do want them. But it's okay. That's why I keep telling a friend of the show, Marshall 205, because he's like, "You're going to feel different once it's out," and I'm like, "I don't think so." Like,
yeah, I don't.
I want them. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want to downplay that. I would like a new Xbox and a PS5.
And I will get one of them. I will probably end up getting. I know for sure I'll end up getting a PlayStation at some point. I don't have a doubt in my mind.
I want them, but I'm okay not having them too.
I think so.
For a while.
It's literally like a year on Sony before something comes out that I can't play on the PS4.
And 2 years on Xbox.
Right.
So, if I walked in the store on day one and they had either one of them, I would strongly consider getting them. It's not a situation where like I could jump on here at any point and be like, got a PS5.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm okay if I don't also.
Right.
And I'm at a different place in my life. So I got this Switch and this Animal Crossing Switch, and the old me is put the one I have in a box, pack it all up, set it somewhere, and just let it sit forever. But new me is like, I'm just going to sell that.
Right.
I'm going to have less than $50 in this Animal Crossing Switch by the time I sell this one for the price that Switches are selling for right now.
Yep.
And it's the better battery life one. It looks cool. It's Animal Crossing themed. I don't need two Switches.
Right. No, I get it.
Like, new me is just a little different about things. I want a PS5 and I want an Xbox, and I'll eventually get them. Whether that's as soon as I see one in the wild or if I wait a while, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It will literally be like an impulse buy for me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I like it.
They have one. Look, okay. I'll pick it. I'm going to get it because I have the money right now and I see one.
Yeah.
So,
and again, not trying to downplay it. I'll be jazzed up when I get one.
Oh yeah, so will I.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. I'm so cool. I don't even need a PS5. It's not that. I would try to pre-order one. I wasn't able to get one.
Yep, I didn't even try to pre-order.
I tried to pre-order both of them and didn't get either one of them. But I'm okay. Yeah. Like I'm not in panic mode. All that.
So right, they will be available, and I'm not missing anything right now by not having it.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
anyway,
we'll see.
We should probably jump into the news here.
Yeah, go ahead and take that first story.
Before we get too far.
Because way back when it related to what you were talking about.
Gotcha, yeah. Before we got off topic.
For the 15-minute rant.
Yeah, back to Ghost of Tsushima. The Legends raid release date and requirements have been confirmed. Sucker Punch revealed that the first raid for Ghost of Tsushima's new Legends multiplayer mode releases on October 30th. The raid, titled The Tale of Io, is a 3-chapter mission that lets players directly into the heart of Io's realm. Players need a minimum key level of 100 and a full team of 4 ghosts to tackle the raid. Sucker Punch recommends players finish Legends story and survival missions on higher difficulties to obtain better gear. Doing so will get everyone raid ready. Let's see. The exact start time for the Tale of Io has not been confirmed as of yet. It said it's going to provide. Sucker Punch is going to provide more details on its official Twitter account closer to the launch of the raid. The studio also announced the new weekly challenge missions that go live every Friday, starting at we'll just go with 11 Eastern, 10 Central. There, are you happy? There will be a 2-player story mission and 4-player survival challenge with specific modifiers that will reward successful players with max level gear and spots on the weekly leaderboards. The missions themselves are set on the Nightmare difficulty. For those of you that don't know, that is the hardest difficulty. The Legends mode has been pretty popular despite only being out for a week. It was a free update. The game is also going to be supported on PS5 with a performance boost. You'll have higher frame rate, which should make the combat feel even smoother. And Sucker Punch just rolled out a new patch for Ghost of Tsushima, which fixes a handful of bugs and some other issues. It also says, this is new, it said Sucker Punch said they were looking for writers interested in feudal Japan. According to a recent job listing on Sucker Punch's little website that they have there, apparently they're hiring for probably to expand on the franchise.
Yeah, that's a new posting that came out. So it would appear that whether they're going to go into DLC support long term or they're going to be looking at another game set in this universe, I think that's probably a good comment. And I might have blacked out while you were talking, but to be clear, the raid will start on the 30th. They just didn't say the exact time. I don't know. You might have said that. I just might have blacked out.
Yeah, I did say it.
Yeah, so October 30th is when the first part of the raid starts, but they didn't release an exact time.
It's when it drops, but we don't know what time yet.
Yeah, so which is a weird thing. It's like to know the exact time. Like, that's a bit much.
Like I don't know who needs to know that. I almost left it out, and then I was like, well, fuck it. It seems to be important because why would they put that in there?
Yeah, because
that's got to matter for something. So
people are impatient.
I said earlier about I have some issues with some things coming in the future. I don't like having to have a 4-man team to do the raid because I only know one other person that I play with.
Can you not matchmake?
There's no matchmaking.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
For the raid.
So it is like a Destiny.
I understand why I do, but it's annoying.
Yeah.
So I guess I got to make friends now. I don't really want to though.
Or just wait until friends get it.
Yeah.
This next story is I really put it on for me because I don't like it. But if you have an Oculus headset, you now, because everything is merged over, you now must have a Facebook. So much so that if you actually deactivate your Facebook account instead of permanently deleting it, you also won't be able to access any of your Oculus information. But you can still play the games. But if you delete your account totally, the games are gone until you reactivate it. So for those that don't know, you can't actually delete a Facebook ever.
Right.
You can only deactivate it. But if you delete it, your games, all your Oculus, everything is gone because they are now tied completely together. Now, if you reactivate it, your games are right back there. I'm not trying to scare anybody off, but you can no longer play with an Oculus account, which is how you used to be able to go around the Facebook thing. The integration is complete, and now you will have to have a Facebook in order to set up a new Oculus or in order to keep your Oculus going. So just a PSA for everybody out there that you don't want to delete your account. I guess deactivate it would be the thing to do. But it's all the same because you can't actually delete one. You could always reactivate a Facebook.
Yes.
So it's more of a PSA, but it hurts my heart that anything makes you have an account with it. Like I don't have a Facebook, but I want an Oculus. So then I have to either create a Facebook or reactivate my one from 12 years ago, or I have to make a burner Facebook, which apparently is a little harder to do now, but not impossible.
I mean, yeah, okay. I think this kind of sucks. I do.
Yeah, it does.
But I don't know that it's any different than a smart plug that you have to download the app for. Granted, it's not social media related, but in principle, that concept is still the same. Yeah, it works with Alexa.
I guess the way that I look at it is be like getting a PlayStation and not being able to play games unless I have a PlayStation Network account.
Yeah, I mean,
I could still play games. I just can't use all the features. If they wanted to take away some features for me not having a Facebook, I'm cool with it. But the fact that it's a paperweight if I don't have a Facebook, I don't love that a lot.
No, I don't like that either. I get what Facebook's trying to do, but I think they're doing it wrong. I'd see no reason why they couldn't keep Oculus separate from Facebook.
So that's my thing. You can make me have an Oculus account. I don't love the idea of you making me have a Facebook. That's a different thing you're making me have.
Right.
And I don't want a Facebook, but I do want an Oculus.
I do see the point.
Yeah. It'd be like if Sony was like, hey, you can play all the PlayStation 5 games, but you got to have a TikTok. You'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
And if you don't have a TikTok, you can't play any of them.
Yeah, your games are all gone. It's like, well, great. So, I don't know. Yeah, I put this on here because it made me sad.
Yeah, it's...
what I did is stack a positive story after, because Nintendo has permanently dropped the price on Joy-Cons. They're still expensive. But the individual Joy-Con, which were previously $50, will now cost $40.
Woohoo.
So they're in line with the cost of the 2-packs, which you were able to get for $80. The price cut will go into effect on November 9th, so you should hold off if you're buying any. I think there are places already pre-ordering at the new price, though. So you can already put your pre-prices in there. Amazon has them cheaper all the time. This is a move that needs to happen because everyone's Joy-Con are fucked up.
Not mine.
And so, well, that's because you don't play it. If you played it, now, so, I'm about to send mine in for the second time. I opened a ticket up. I have everything ready to send my old one in for the second time because, like I said, I want to resell it. And that system is perfect except for the controller drift.
Yeah.
I mean, it's had a screen protector on since the day I bought it. It has no scratches on it. It is perfect, but the controller drift is unplayable on the left side. And that Joy-Con has been fixed before. So, I'm going to send that off. The ticket, all I got to do is pack it up because they're very specific. It has to be in a box that has nothing on it. It can't have a warning, can't have any previous labels. It has to be a completely unmarked box.
Right.
Which I don't have. So I've got to find one of those that's appropriate size that's never been touched by the outside air, apparently, before Nintendo will accept it. But yeah, so that's not if you're not wanting to go through the process of sending it back to Nintendo and waiting without one. At least they're going to be cheaper starting on the 9th when you have to go buy one.
And always keep an eye out on sales because a lot of times you can get like the 2-packs for like $70.
Yeah. Yep.
So I know I've seen it on Amazon. I think I saw it on Best Buy.
Once the singles come out at $40, you'll be able to occasionally get those for $30 too, I assume.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
You'll see deals like that or $35 or whatever. This next story is weird because it involves Snoop Dogg.
This is an odd story. I don't know that I understand. I don't even understand this story, honestly.
Okay, did you watch the video? Because you won't if you didn't watch the video.
No, I didn't watch the video.
That's why you're like, I don't even know what's going on here. So for some reason, Snoop Dogg posted on Instagram an Xbox Series X refrigerator, and when he opened it, it had an Xbox Series X inside of it, along with other things like a birthday cake that was shaped like a Series X. Gin and juice were also inside of there. Some Xbox necklace. This appears to be from Microsoft. You could see it there. The fucking, for some reason, the Series X is in the refrigerator and it's plugged up.
It's fucking weird.
Everything's cold in there. Maybe
it's just the shell.
I don't think so. I
don't either.
Anyways, he deleted it. I saw it on Wario64 Twitter. But yeah, it's just a bizarre thing. I don't know why he deleted it. Maybe Microsoft was like, hey, calm down. But the refrigerator is like super legit too. It even has the light up top. It has the slit. I mean, it is a Series X refrigerator.
Right. And what's funny about that, if you're not understanding the joke, is when it first came out, when they first, basically revealed the Xbox Series X, everybody commented that it looked like a refrigerator.
See, here it is.
There it is.
Doesn't that look good?
Yeah.
It's like well made.
How do you open it?
He just grabs the side and it opens. See?
Look at that.
And there's the cake that looks like one, but there is an Xbox Series X in the refrigerator and it's plugged up.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's so unnecessary.
Some water. Eggs. There's eggs in there.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
To the Xbox 06? Is that what it says?
Yeah. I guess 6th birthday. Or OG.
OG.
The Xbox OG. There's the Xbox necklace. Yeah, happy birthday to the Xbox OG. And then, see, it's just in the refrigerator.
Yeah, it's just there.
I don't know. This is a fun story. I like Snoop Dogg.
Dude, he's funny. He
is super funny. He's like the right kind of silly for me.
Right.
He's not too silly.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I understand.
I find him to be hilarious.
Yes.
And I think he's self-aware. Like, he knows he's funny. But not. But
he knows it's a stupid funny. It's not like a legit funny.
Dude, that commercial that comes on where he's like, why are you calling me on my cell phone? I know that's dumb, but I laugh every time. There's something funny about him saying that while he's holding that seashell up to his ear. He's just funny. I think he's a funny guy. And I like him a lot. And I think that I don't know why they deleted that. This next story isn't gaming related, but I thought it was sad. And it's also a PSA. So Quibi, for those that don't know, Quibi was a streaming platform. They wanted you to focus on only watching on your phone and or tablet. But it unfortunately came out right about the time that quarantine hit and people were stuck at home and they did not have a TV mode. So the idea of that you'd be watching on the go didn't make sense because people were stuck at home. And they fought the idea of getting a TV mode because all the episodes are between 5 and 10 minutes. So the idea that they were bite-sized shows that you could watch. Anyways, Quibi didn't work out, and they are shuttering Quibi very quickly. So
December 1st, quickly.
Yeah, so if you want to watch anything that's on Quibi, you have till December 1st to do so. And I'm a big fan of the idea of Quibi. I like shows that would be 5 minutes long per episode because you could do a whole season by shooting one episode, which I think is neat. There are times where I have 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but I don't have an hour. And so to me, this was a neat idea. I toyed with the idea of subscribing several times, but I didn't because you couldn't put it on a TV, and I wanted that option. Even though I think I would have mostly watched on my phone. And so it's going away. But
Quibi never appealed to me.
Yeah. It definitely is for a certain
it's
market.
Very, very... it's a very, very niche idea that is geared toward a very specific subset of people that I don't think are a majority of people who ingest entertainment like that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That it's certainly for, and again, the pandemic definitely didn't help. I think people maybe weren't ready for this idea, and also I think like the timing could not have been worse.
The timing was horrible, without a doubt.
I mean, they went live right when people were like, "We need stuff to do." And they're like, cool, how's a 5-minute TV show sound? It wasn't, the timing wasn't good. They were the anti-Animal Crossing.
Right.
And, it's unfortunate because I think Quibi was a cool idea. They did they raised, I think, $1.5 billion in funding. They announced that they still have $300 million of that left. And at this point, they hired a consulting agency to come in that said, you need to close that's what's left.
This will not work.
Yeah. And, so they made the announcement that unfortunately they're gonna shutter with what money they have left. It's unfortunate for investors, but you know what? All you big money folks, that's the shit that happens.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, I thought Quibi was a cool idea, and I like short form stuff like that. And I think the idea of trying to tell a story in 5 minutes at a time is neat and compelling. But I do agree with you that it does appeal to a very small group of people.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you're definitely a minority when it comes to that.
Yeah, I agree. So anyways, it's $5 a month, and you could subscribe for, I don't know if they're still doing it, but I think they were giving your first month free. My point is, everything on Quibi will potentially disappear. So if you were interested in anything on there, you should watch it before it's gone.
Yeah.
This next story isn't showing up on my iPad for some reason, but I'm going to skip it anyways, because it was an opinion piece that I just thought we could talk about, but we're long enough already.
Okay.
And it may be something we revisit, because I had a lot of strong emotions about it.
Yeah, I kind of feel a certain way about it too.
Yeah, but I feel like it's going to make us go really long, which, because we did Tool Talk up front, is not... I don't want to go too long. I'm trying to be the Quibi podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Tool talk.
Tool time. You can't say that because the home
No.
Zachary Ty Bryan got arrested.
He did.
You see that?
For domestic assault.
Yeah, not good. 2 felony charges.
Yeah, which is
2 more than you want.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know where you were going, but that's what I was thinking.
There's 2 more than you want, but there's some serious stuff going on there. If you got 2 felony charges of it.
Yeah.
You really screwed up as an individual. You got some issues you need to work out.
And I want to say this in a non-judgy way, but he got arrested in his apartment.
You're such a dick. There's no way to be non-judgy when you say that.
Well,
you're like, oh, look, he used to be rich and a superstar. Now he lives in a fucking apartment.
I only sort of mean it like that.
That's where you're going.
Yeah, because I don't think he...
And what is he... I mean... Okay, Producer Gerald has, like, his mugshot up.
That's the...
And he looks... Man, he looks creepy. I
guess what I'm saying is this isn't the first...
He looks like a guy who would do that. He looks like a guy you expect to get arraigned for that.
It's not... This is not the first poor decision he's made, is what I'm saying, because he's in that apartment. And it's fine if you live in an apartment, but it's not fine if you were on TV for years.
It depends on... You were a child actor, though. You don't know what he made per episode.
He was in that Fast and the Furious movie. Remember, he played the dick face in Tokyo Drift.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember? Because he says, you're going to beat me in that piece of shit. And he's like, yeah, your daddy's Viper or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was an asshole. Look at him.
Yeah.
He really does look the same. I see what you're saying, but he looks the same still as he did as a child.
You could tell... Well, he doesn't look the same, but you can tell it's him. You're like, okay, I know. He's not like one of those people who really changed as they got older. He still looks like him.
Do you think Jonathan Taylor Thomas is in an apartment in Sherman Oaks, though, is what I'm saying?
Maybe. Now, is it really Sherman Oaks? Did you just make that up, or is that in
yeah, I made that up.
Yeah. What a dick, man. You couldn't even pick, like, downtown L.A. or Manhattan. You're like Sherman Oaks, Illinois. Really? You're being super judgy right now. You don't even realize it.
No, I know. That's why I started by saying I'm not trying to be super judgy, because I knew it was.
Oh, you started out with a lie to start telling the truth.
No, it's true to say he's not worth $4 million, Gerald. I don't know what site you're on.
He might be. You don't know. Just because he lives in an apartment.
He's in an apartment in Akron, Ohio, so I know.
Would you
he's
stop
not
with
worth
places? You're falsifying information.
Let's see how much JTT is worth. Let's see how much Jonathan Taylor Thomas is worth.
You don't know if he lives in Toledo or whatever. It could be downtown Miami. It could be L.A., Seattle, New York City. Where do you get arrested?
Like Vestavia Hills.
It's not Stadia.
He's in California.
Yeah.
I could probably find it faster where he got arrested at. Here it is. What does it say? Oregon. See?
Oregon.
Eugene's not even like dense.
Yes, it is.
Nah, it's fine. He's in Eugene, Oregon.
Okay.
Ooh, he doesn't look good in that picture either.
He doesn't look good in any of these pictures.
Yeah, Gerald, that's it. He's a landlord, and he was just at that apartment punching his girlfriend.
Well, just because an apartment, you could own an apartment.
He doesn't.
You don't know. You're just being super judgmental. You just don't like Zachary Ty Bryan, and it's fine because I don't really like him either. But doesn't mean I'm going to start falsifying information about him. He's worth $16 million.
They impounded his 92 Corolla.
Yeah, that's it.
Shout out to 92 Corollas. Yeah, JTT's worth a lot more money. It says 16. It said $4 million on Zachary Ty Bryan. Now I will say, every celebrity I've ever seen that says celebrity net worths are total bullshit.
Oh yeah,
they're just a guess based on the projects. Now Jonathan Taylor Thomas also much more of a career.
Well, not much more.
No, he did a bunch of like kids movies.
Yeah, it's the voice of the Lion King.
Yeah, that Disney money's sweet. He's Simba.
Baby Simba.
Baby Simba.
Little Simba.
The third kid.
Then he did some. What do you do? I'll Be Home for Christmas with Jessica.
Yeah, Pinocchio, Indian in the Cupboard. Scroll up a little bit.
Right.
I'm looking. He doesn't need to do anything since 2006 because he doesn't live in an apartment.
I think he did a couple episodes, or an episode or two of that Tim Allen show, that new
Tom
one.
and Huck. Oh, the
Last Man Standing.
Last Man. That show's been on forever. Never seen it
since 2013.
Yeah. I'm not shitting on people that live in apartments. I'm shitting on Zachary Ty Bryan because he seems like an asshole.
Yeah, he does seem like a dick.
If what they said he did, then that's not a guy that I want to know.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. I know it seems like I'm being harsh on apartments. I'm being harsh on him because he seems like a fuckface if what I read's true. It wasn't a good situation. It sounded
No. I agree with that 100%. Not a person I want to be friends with.
Yep. That's really where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
It seems like he's not Jonathan Taylor Thomas, it seems like.
Well, yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know what Jonathan Taylor Thomas has ever been...
Can you find the third kid, Mark?
Arrested.
I think his name was Mark on the show.
Oh, yeah. Mark is looking...
What's he do? Oh, shit. He might have killed himself, Gerald said. I don't know if that's true. Can we just check?
I don't remember. I don't...
You put Mark Home Improvement, it should pull in, because I don't know his name. Yeah. Does he have 3 names as well? Did you have to have Mark. 3 names to be a kid?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he's still alive. I thought so. I think he's all tatted up and stuff now. Real skinny.
You had to... Hey, I was joking. You seriously had to have 3 names to be on that show. All 3 kids go by 3 names.
All 3, you're right.
Can we get a picture of him? Can we images?
Hit the images.
Just click images up there. Let me not tell you how to do your job. How about that? Oh, I see.
Not if you type in now.
He's aged well.
You don't know which... I don't think that's now.
That's him?
I know that's him. I don't think that's now.
Oh. Yeah, but he doesn't look bad. Like I'm not saying like he's an attractive guy. I'm saying like he looks healthy.
Oh, he doesn't look like a garbage human being like Zachary Ty Bryan does?
Like that son of a bitch, yeah.
You look at him and you're like, man, I want to punch him right in the face. You don't even know him. You've never seen him before. You're like, look at that stupid face.
Oh, Mark from Home Improvement got arrested for drugs, but I have way less of an issue with that. The DUI I could do without, but I have way less of an issue with that over punching a lady.
Yeah.
Or anyone. You shouldn't punch your significant other. I'm pretty sure
the drugs was weed, by the way. I remember that.
Oh, then I have zero problem with it. Can you search for Jonathan Taylor Thomas now? Because I don't know what he looks like now either, because I've never seen Last Man Standing. Did he age well?
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought maybe you saw the show.
No, I don't watch.
How good do you think this is to listen to? Oh, yeah, he's a good-looking man.
Probably horrible. Yeah. He's not tall. He didn't get a whole lot taller from when he was 9 years old. But...
Damn, shots fired. First you run down Zachary Ty Bryan for living in an apartment, and now you've gone after Jonathan Taylor Thomas's height.
No, you went after Zachary Ty Bryan for living in an apartment.
Because you're like, maybe he owns a complex. Maybe he's a piece of shit. That's where I'm...
Right, you know? That's where you went.
That's where I went.
Yeah, he has aged. He has aged well. I don't want to punch him in the face. Good. I don't want to punch him in the face.
He looks kind, doesn't he? Looks like a kind.
Kind?
Soul. Yeah, kind.
I don't know. I guess
he's got kind eyes. He went to Harvard. He's a big dum-dum, too. He's attractive, talented, and a moron. Oh, no. See, Gerald has uncovered a picture that tells the entire story. It's grown Jonathan Taylor Thomas next to grown Zachary Ty Bryan.
Oh, man.
And if I said Dan, I'll give you $500 if you could tell me which one of those is an alcoholic and might eventually punch a significant other. I think you would win.
I would definitely win. There is definitely these are.
Oh my Jesus!
This is two different. This is the best example of two different life paths that I could ever give you.
See, you're starting to get on board with poor decisions that I was on board with because you saw them side by side and you're like, holy shit. Man, that was the most telling image. Yeah, but they're younger there. Like, you could tell, like, we're heading down a road maybe we can't come back from.
That last photo, Zachary Ty Bryan was in a bad place, man.
That last photo, he just got off a bender.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like Jonathan Taylor Thomas just got finished telling him about Jesus. That's the two different places I feel like those guys are at. Like, one of them is at a very good place, it appears. And the other is not.
Yeah.
Look at him as kids. Look at those pants.
Right. Like you didn't know he was going to grow up to be a douchebag?
You always knew. Look at that hair. He was kind of a punk ass on the show. Yeah, he was kind of a punk ass on the show, if you remember.
Yeah, he was. That was his job, though, I think, as the older brother. I mean...
No, yeah, you're right.
That would be the director's fault, not his. He was directed.
Yeah, can we just put that picture back up again? That real bad one.
That bad one?
Yeah, as we close up the show, I just want to keep that up. You want to look at it one more time
before we roll out of here?
Yeah, as we close up, I just want that picture up.
Good Lord, man. Yeah, no.
It's so bad.
Oh, yeah, that's a tale of two former child stars right there.
It's so bad. And the fact that Jonathan Taylor Thomas doesn't look more judgy than he does is, I think, another testament to the kind of human he is.
Wow.
Because look how sweaty and oily Zachary Ty Bryan is.
No, I see it.
Golly, I can't even. These two together is blowing my mind. It's not just the. Man, this is not good.
Oof, that's something.
I hope you've enjoyed this trip down the home improvement lane. We felt that it rolled into Tool Time and Tool Talk together well.
Yes. Now we're getting sued for saying Tool Time.
Can you get sued for saying Tool Time?
I don't know.
Tim Allen seems like a lovely man.
Mm.
You know, hopefully he's not suing people. He's Buzz Lightyear.
He is Buzz Lightyear.
Trademark Disney. All rights. I don't even know if you can say Buzz Lightyear anymore. Disney protects its IP pretty hard.
That's what I hear.
Yep. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed all the talk that had nothing to do with video games, and in the 4 minutes of video game news, you're welcome. We structured it that way.
Yeah.
I hope there's just a group of people who are driving around going, I thought this was about video games.
It's all part of our master plan.
Yeah, we're slowly shifting this into talking about drill bits. It's going to be a drill bit podcast each and every week. We only speak about drill bits exclusively. Yeah. The Bit Bros is what we're going to call it.
We're going to call it Bits and Pieces.
That's not bad.
I know.
That's not bad. Just a woodworking podcast.
Uh-huh.
Gerald's out as producer. He's like, I'll find something fucking else to do. I'm going to hard pass on that.
I'm having none of it.
What if we go back and watch Home Improvement and break down each episode?
No, I don't want to do that.
You didn't like Home Improvement?
I did like Home Improvement then. I don't know that I would like it now.
That separation with the then told me everything I need to know about how you feel about it now.
I don't know that I don't like it, but I'm just not a sitcom guy anymore.
Those, to me, I see what you're saying, but for me, when you say a sitcom kind of guy, to me, like, there's a line between sitcoms now and sitcoms then.
No,
for me,
they're all still based off the same structure.
Yeah, but well, sort of like now it's different. I feel like sitcoms now. First off, I think they're better now, but those are more special to me.
No, yeah, I get that. I get that.
There's some depth. The old sitcoms are silly, which I can kind of appreciate.
Like the old TGIF group bunch?
Yeah, they're all silly. They're all the same. They're all silly, and there's something kind of calming about them. The nostalgia, I think, is powerful in them.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll probably talk about video games next week. I don't know.
Might not.
Yeah, we may not. We might, though, because we're going to be real close to playing Little Hope.
Oh, actually, we might have played it at that point.
Yeah, so I think I'll be pretty jazzed up. I think Halloween's on Saturday, is that right?
Yes. So it comes out on Friday.
Yeah, there's a chance we'll have played it. Mine says it'll be here on the 30th. Is that the day it comes out?
That's the day it comes out, yeah.
Okay. Amazon, I'll just tell you, Amazon has screwed me before on that, so I may not even have it.
So they might do it again?
Yeah, I don't know. Same day release is like the only thing. I can order like a pallet of bricks and they'll have it here tomorrow. But I pre-order a game 6 months out and it's like 4 days after it comes out before I get it.
Yeah, that sounds like Amazon.
So, yeah. But I hope you enjoyed episode 406. We'll call it something. I don't have a good name for it now.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I thought maybe you had something loaded, but you were just waiting for me to talk.
Nope,
again.
I don't.
Jerry, I don't like you zooming in on his face like this, Gerald.
Oh, you're being creepy, Gerald.
But thanks for listening. If you're a supporter, Zach or Thomas, we appreciate you. Zach got good Thomas got good internet, like really good internet. Finally. And
well, he's had that for a bit, hasn't he?
No, he got better internet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's been on PlayStation a whole lot. He got 1 gig speeds now.
Oh, nice.
So he's on gig now, yeah. So shout out to his ISP for making that happen.
Work.
And we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for sitting through this one, Gerald.